My belly's full. Just so everyone knows, just so I'm being as transparent as humanly possible. I ate both of those subs in one sitting. Okay? Was it easy? It was easier than it should have been. Okay? Today is Sunday. Today I get to cheat and be a piece of crap all day long. It's really piece of crap practice. You have to practice being a piece of crap, fellas, okay? And I guess what I mean by being a piece of crap, I guess sitting is what you fellas would call it, right? But I mean, I don't, I've been absent for like almost a decade. I don't really conventionally sin. I don't get into fights. I don't lust, for the most part. So I create little simulation. It's little simulation. It's the simulacrum. Let's call it that. What I'm starting to realize is in order to sharpen your discernment. Now, these are the carbs talking, okay? On carbs, dude. Oh, Cobb. Oh, Cobb. Oh, my Cobb. He's going again. Can you have discernment when you have desire, fellas? Can you do it? How good is your discernment when you have a big fat boner? Do you really consider yourself to have good discernment when you're pitching a tent? I don't think so. So one of the motivating factors of Lent and doing a fast, in addition to gratitude, is to really explore your desires by withholding them from yourself, right? So, for example, what separates us civilized whites, okay? First of all, fasting is the whitest thing you can possibly do. If you want to return to the roots of being white, fast, okay? What's one of the defining characteristics of white people? Delayed gratification. What do you think fasting is? It's the whitest thing you can do. But, fellas, what do animals do? Okay? They can't control eating, copulating, or their violence. Okay? When you think of an animal in the woods, all right, they can't control the urge, the sexual urge to have sex. Okay, so often leads to rape in the animal kingdom. There's no consent in the animal kingdom. They're beasts. Can't control, number one, their urge to have sex. Number two, their urge to eat. They don't have a concept of diet. They'll eat their own poop if they have to. If they want to, okay? Slosher, don't worry. Don't worry. I think you know where I'm going right now, okay? So, what is that? Having sex, eating, and violence, right? Well known for ravenously killing each other without being able to control it, okay? Now, I'm telling you. No, these are carbs, okay? We're still talking about animals? Yes. And also, human beings are animals. Fellas! Fasting is the whitest thing you can do. And why is that? Okay? Well, let's think of the blacks, okay? Are they good at controlling when they fornicate? Survey says no. Animalistic behavior, very non-white behavior. How are they controlling their eating habits? Well, they are informally known as the human diocese of diabetes. Not very good at controlling their food intake. How's the violence in the animal community, in the animal American community, fellas? Not good. Low impulse control. The whitest thing you can do is be abstinent, fast, and exhibit civility in the face of adversity. It's what keeps you white. You might start darkening over time if you don't adhere to these principles. So anyway, God first, race second. All right. I mean, we don't have the West without Christianity. The West is white, and we don't have the West without Christianity. They go hand in hand, fellas. Okay, but God does come first, then white people. I don't make the rules. Okay. But I'll tell you what, I put both these subs back. We have an Italian sub, and we have a basil chicken pesto with prosciutto and mozzarella sub. Those went down, and I want to say less than a half an hour. And that was about 2 hours ago. Alrighty, it's 3 p.m. I know. And my eyes, you guys ever get food high? Where you get like bags under your eyes from eating food? That's what I have. That's what I have right now. Ooh, yes. I fasted too hard and worked out too hard. I'm sore and stiff all over. What you can do, now it sounds like you may be low on electrolytes, okay? However, Gatorade is garbage. It's pure sugar. One of the most important electrolytes you can have when you're fasting is potassium. Potassium is in a salt substitute called no salt. You would do pops like a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of no salt, and then you have your salt and potassium. It tastes like chlorine, but it's raw electrolytes. That would be recommended if you're going to be working out while fasting. I don't work out. My hands are far too soft for that. I'll break a nail. And what I mean, I work with my hands. You know, what am I going to do if I break a nail, fellas? I got to make really masculine content over here. Speaking of masculine content, fellas, I streamed with Remnant 777. Okay. And he didn't know that Cenk Uygur made his case for bestiality. I'm going to have to make this into a YouTube short because I just feel so fortunate that I got to show a youngin some internet lore over here.
Golly. Oh no.
I'm so glad
Legalize.
I'm so glad I get to share this with you right now. Okay.
No.
You've never seen this. That's what you're telling me.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen to him. He's like, no.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving. You are pleasuring.
Oh no.
Okay. So
wait, what was that last bit? What did he say at the last bit?
Yeah.
Like he sounded like he was building up to something like, look, I'm gonna allow this horrible thing.
Well,
but
you're gonna notice that there's a full minute after he says that. And this isn't the funny part. What happens after, I think, is the funny part.
Giving. You are pleasuring the animal. You see what I'm saying?
Do you see what I'm saying? Now, let's see.
Is he smiling after saying that?
That is someone who just made a comment about supporting bestiality and no one around him is agreeing with him. Smile. That kind of... It was a good time, fellas. Strongly recommend watching that stream. I'm going to have to make that into a short. It's too good. We're going to do more streams. I got some old man. I got like 15 years on Remnant. So I got some old man internet lore that I could drop on him at a moment's notice like that. But also, Andrew Wilson just dropped this video. And it touches on some themes
Kyla
that I've also noticed.
Never.
Fellas, how familiar are we with Kyla? not so erudite. Because Andrew Wilson's known it for 5 years, and I've known Andrew Wilson has known it for 5 years because I've been watching both of them for 5 years. So not everyone knows the lore on these people, the types of people that they are. And I was discussing this with Remnant during our stream. He still likes to treat people. He likes to give them a fair shot, right? I like to operate like this is wartime right now. And I already know these people, and I know what their intentions are. Discernment, right? And fellas, why do you suppose my discernment may be so good? So I control my sexual urges, control my eating urges, and I control my violent urges. Those are all desires. I can't be honeypotted. I can't be bought with food. I can't be bought with money. I can't be incited into violence. It's being in control of yourself, right? And I can see the important function of God and going to liturgy on Sundays. Because, you know, these desires are outlets. It's energy that you have inside of you. And I mean, it's desire training, Lent, okay? So you think you're hungry. No, now I'm really hungry. But you know when you get to the point of no return when it comes to a desire? You might be a little horny, but you get to a certain amount of horny where you're like, well, now I'm going to make the move because I am a certain level of horny. You get to a certain level of hungry where you go, don't care. Don't care. All of it's going out the window. You might get to a certain level of anger where you know you're going to hit a person or hit a wall. And your desire, right? You're getting to that level. You're getting to that level of anger, that level of desire. The best way to train this is with food and with hunger. Oh, it'll make you irritable. You don't think I'm extra irritable having no booze, no food, and no cigarettes when I'm streaming with Fist? You have to curb it. Because I know what it's like to be really, really, really hungry. So really, Lent is desire training. How much do you want this thing? How horny are you really? Come on. What are you, an animal? How mad are you really? How worth it is it? That skill set, it's like what Dave Chappelle when Keeping It Real goes wrong. It's so you don't do something you're going to regret. And obviously, if you rape a woman or get into a fight, those are very regretful. Eating is the perfect breeding ground, all right, to start curbing your desires to get closer to God. That's the most safe one. Who are you hurting when you eat a fucking donut, right? Who are you hurting when you have a slice of cake, all right? So diet is the best place to start sharpening your discernment before you tackle the carnal urges. So to speak. Catholic guy, train the body, train the soul. Absolutely. And when you say train the body, I think I'm really trying to narrow it down to eating, sexual urges, and violent urges. I think those are the 3 pillars that I can nail this down on. The Gray Slayer, anger. Oh, it's coming up. Oh, it's really coming up. Okay, we're pushing it back down. Gray Slayer. Anger was the first one I had to defeat. Yeah. Oh, I had anger issues. And here we have, I get horny. Horny to see how long their nose is. Suppose that is an act of horny. I suppose it is. Fist is a good distraction, though. Yeah, I mean, he can effortlessly carry an hour of the live stream. The man was built for it. It was ordained that we would meet up and have that stream. Again, I didn't even know. Delayed gratification is what separates man from animal. That's what I said. Delayed gratification is what separates whites from blacks. It's exactly what I said. It's like you're repeating what I'm saying now. Do I box or do any martial arts? Muay Thai and boxing have really helped me with anger. Yeah, my first major breakup when I was 25, 26. Oh, I needed to go get my ass kicked by other guys. Did some BJJ. Just learned elementals, very basics, foundations of how to move my body. Some BJJ, Muay Thai, boxing. I know how to, I know how to stand. I did that for 6 months. Can throw a kind of a heavy leg kick. I know how to open my hips. Very fundamental things that go a very long way. Kenpo for you. Absolutely. Gotta be something in there. Gonna pull a Mentis wave and say time preference. Time preference. That's a very polite way of saying that.
Going to do serious or significant push.
Bro, what's gayer is that I also do yoga. I'm a huge proponent of doing yoga. And there's nothing you can do about it. I've been doing the same yoga routine for probably over a decade. And it's I'm not going to be an old stiff man. It's the stabilizer muscles, right? It's the difference between doing free weights, which does all the teeny tiny little stabilizer muscles, or just doing machine weights. You got to know how to open your hips and stick your ass out. Sorry, that's how you move your body. Ass out, titties out. It's good for your posture. Tight core, ass out, titties out. That's hot yoga and asana. Yeah, dude. It makes your body. It rejuvenates your body. Well, it also it helps me go into a meditative state, right? If I'm just sitting there, it's hard for me to be meditative. But if I'm doing the same yoga routine, and the difference between stretching and yoga is breathing. You're breathing with every movement when you're doing yoga. And so I know how to do these poses, and I can just not even think about it. It's just way easier to enter a meditative state if you have a comfortable yoga routine. And it's balance and stabilizer muscles, fellas. Be as strong as you want, but you're going to need to balance when you're 70 so you don't fall down the stairs.
Back against accusations towards me about anything. And I don't know why you would expect her to. Ever. Anytime Kyla has been presented with any sort of moral dynamic where the choice is her actual Christian beliefs, which I'm not sure she even has because she...
I am really starting to hate atheists, fellas. I'm really starting to get it. Because a lot of us right-wing atheists, and apparently there's more of us than I thought, they're starting to pop up in my comments more and more. Which is nice, because where do they have to go? They feel alienated from Christian right-wing groups. Good to see them, And it's dude, I had somebody, I might be able to find the comment. Someone said in my comments, awesome, another Christ is King atheist. There's Christ is King atheists on the right wing. And so those atheists get lumped into the secular humanist denying Christ atheist, right? There's a lot of pro-Christ atheists. And so when you try to make these arguments to them, they go, well, yeah, I appeal to Christ. Well, then why don't you believe in Christ? It's a pretty big metaphysical leap thing to believe in. I've been conditioned my entire life to be like, that's ridiculous. And so it's hard to just, fight through. It would be disingenuous to go, oh, all of a sudden I believe in God. We see how that goes. People like James Lindsay. But now I'm seeing the dangers of atheism. And these people really think they can create their own rules and laws of the mind. And that ruins society every time. And I just experienced that when I was talking to Remnant and the stream we did last night. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a stream tonight at 7 p.m. I'm ending this stream in 40 minutes to prep for that stream. This is the stream before the stream. It's going to be Isaiah. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. Oh, I'm going to lay into that big black body. And I get to drink and smoke today, so I'm going to get extra silly too. Right now, I'm just on carbs. But atheists are very dangerous. I'm starting to see it's very mooey. It's very mooish. There's always a way to conform reality into their convenient preferential worldview. And that's never been dangerous for me because I've always been comfortable with the fact that there's things that I don't know, right? Which apparently, like, that's the point. I'm sorry, not the point. One of the important reasons of believing in Christ, so you don't try and become God yourself, and you default to, well, there's things that I don't know, always more to learn, humility. That's absent to the secular humanist, leftist, progressive, atheist plusers. And they are really starting to grind my gears, fellas.
He constantly contradicts them by saying that they have no foundation due to Agrippa's trilemma, which is hilarious. Or materialism, whenever she has that dialectic in front of her between a materialist gain or her own ethical purview, she almost always universally makes the wrong choice. Basically every single time.
And the way that he says this, I notice it time and time again. And this is why I say, like, sexual degens. Like with Destiny, like with Dev, Short Fire Otaku. Like, the only reason to be on the left is to be a sexual degenerate. Because, like, you can't have that lifestyle on the right wing. You look at Clavicular and they try and call him right wing. He's not claimed by the right wing. You can't just find whatever you want on the internet and say, oh, that's Christian and right wing. But you can't be polyamorous, and it's not sexy. It's not an appealing, hedonistic idea to tell people to restrict themselves sexually, right? But we're starting to see that with the Zoomers coming up. They're starting to be nauseated by sexual degeneracy because look at what the women look like and like how gay the men are. It's disgusting. They're calling it degenerate is what we have to keep doing because the younger generation looks at that and they go, yeah, that doesn't feel normal. That looks gross. They're trying to get me to be gay and the women look fucking disgusting. So that level of shame seems to be working for the up and coming right-wing generation. But it can be a tough sell to people who have been degenerate. How do you tell them to stop banging? Could be a tough sell, right? And if you're too religious about it, they're just going to tune it out, right? So then you have your boy Artie over here, who can still talk some dirty, degenerate talk, within reason without going crazy. Keep their ears perked up. Then also learn that, I've been abstinent for almost a decade now,
I've never seen Kyla make a good moral decision, not even one time. Not once. That's why I've never had any respect.
Yeah, this is a really important point to make as well. You can be a degenerate and acknowledge it's bad for society, right? Like, that's an important point. And this is why, you don't hear me really lecture people on not having sex, right? Because I already got to have fun. I already got to do sex and drugs. So it's easy for me to say that, which is why I think the best thing I can do is venerate people that never went down that path, right? I have a higher reverence for people that never made those mistakes. Do I really think they're mistakes? I mean, not necessarily. It was fun. It was cool. It's what we did at the time. I managed to make it out unscathed. Many people that I know did not, dying from drug overdoses, sex addicts, even getting into like troon porn and stuff like that. So I mean, all I can tell you is that all of the like reckless promiscuity you're doing in like your 20s, it means nothing when you're 40. All the sex and drugs I did means nothing right now, right? I wish I was building something in my 20s, in my 30s for when I'm 40. That's what I can say to a younger generation. It means nothing. The stories that you think are cool, they're not cool after 5 years. They mean nothing. All of it means nothing. What means something is what you can carry forward, is what I would tell you.
For her at all. Ever. Never had the slightest bit of respect for her. Never thought well of her. Never thought highly of her. Never thought she was anywhere near my level. Never thought it. Not even for a second. I've just never seen her when there is a moral decision to be made. I've never seen her make a good one.
Right. When there is a moral decision to be made. Like anything Destiny does ever. I mean, that's a pretty easy litmus test, wouldn't we say?
Ever. When it came to her business relationship with Destiny, she knew exactly what Destiny was, and she didn't care because of, well, I want that all that material gain of bridges. I want to be famous and be on bridges, and this guy is a way to skyrocket me to fame. It's all look.
Yeah, so this is the weird thing. We talked about this last night on stream as well, where there was Destiny started a podcast called Bridges, or Dan Saltman did, his friend, where he was going to be trying to build bridges because he's known for burning bridges. He started that. Not so erudite. This woman moves from Canada to like go into business with Destiny. And then he pulls a 180 and starts like doing stochastic terrorist violent rhetoric against right wingers. Needless to say, Bridges did not do well, and neither is her career.
Past every single one of his horrific moral failings that I actually believe are terrible, like the fact that he married a woman, was in an open relationship with her. That should be against Kyla's ethics, but apparently she can see past that. The fact that she knows for sure that
Bro, I watched my roommate play Death Stranding. That game is hilarious and ridiculous. There's a Guitar Man villain in that game. That game is crazy. You know, white people are great at building societies, okay? The Japanese have a monopoly on creativity. There, I said it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Destiny often uses his position, at least allegedly, as a casting couch so that he can utilize his position as a famous content creator to leverage women for sex, which he's done, who are often mentally ill. Again, this is alleged. These are the accusations against him, but it's not like there's no evidence for it. When it came to the fact that he was being accused by Pixie, literally being accused by Pixie.
Oh, it's coming up. We're going to show it back down. Okay. And it's back down. Death Stranding is pretty overrated. Hey, I completely understand why anybody wouldn't like playing Death Stranding, okay? It's a weird, weird game. I wouldn't hold it against anybody for not liking that game. Not so bright is the just Lane Maxwell of streaming. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is true. But just Lane's tits are real. Very good point. Fellows are sharp today.
Of basically handing out her tape to another woman who he was trying to spark a romantic fling up with. Kyla was accused by many content creators of going behind the scenes and trying to hush all of that up.
Did you chew those subs? For anybody who doesn't know what he's talking about, these are the subs in question. I ate these in a single sitting, probably within a half an hour. It didn't take me an hour to eat both of those subs. We have the greasy Italian. So it's now what you have to realize is you get the vinegar from the Italian, then you got the prosciutto from the chicken basil pesto. Those are not meant to be eaten side by side, okay? It doesn't matter. I could have blended them up into a smoothie and I'd have the same issue right now. It's not the sub's fault. It's my fault. There's nothing I could have done. Actually, no, it's not my fault. There's no way the human body was meant to eat those in a half. It's all my fault. What am I talking about?
That's what she was literally accused of doing that. She had.
Vagine, I ate a full mini cake last night. You know, no one's going to tell you this but me. I'm proud of you, and I mean that.
Zero moral integrity. None. And never has. Ever. That's why when people are like, what?
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm down with the vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Down with the vinegar. I'm down with the vinegar. Y'all down with the vinegar? I am. I love oil and vinegar.
Why didn't you expect her to do more? It's like, why would I ever expect her to do anything? Was there a choice here which could lead to material benefit over doing the right thing? Because I already know what choice Kyla's always going to make. Every single time. She'll always make the choice for material gain.
Always.
Over moral integrity or doing the right thing. every time. That's why I just don't understand why it is that people want so badly to just be like, why isn't there a big call out?
I feel like this is why there's a right-wing resurgence right now, and a lot to do with orthodoxy as well, because it's tried and true. You know, the ortho bros been the same since day one, you know? And a lot of the hedonists, the issue with hedonism is you get burnt out, right? Your brain gets burnt out. You're blowing loads 3 or 4 times a day. You get burnt out. Then you need that just to be normal, right? You're eating too much. You're a fat slob. You don't feel good. Getting into fights. You're being violent. You're angry. You know, it's a lot of excitement, crash, excitement, crash, excitement, crash. And you get burnt out, right? You don't get burnt out with God, oddly enough. Actually, the man keeps you going.
For Kyla here, what call out? What call out do you give a person who has spurious moral intentions and always chooses for the left-wing materialism over the entrenchment of the very faith that they espouse? Kyla spent an entire...
This is good. You are either the moral man or the material man. And that's the thing. Even without God necessarily, I became a moral man by taking away the sexual urge, abstinence for about a decade now, really controlling my food intake, and being a man of peace and not giving in to anger and acting irrationally and doing things I later regret. It just puts you into a position of being a moral man by resisting the materialism of atheism, which is why I say, fellas, you can be a right-wing atheist. You don't have to believe in Christ to act in service of Christ. And when you curb your lust, and when you curb your violence, and when you do not engage in sloth and gluttony, well, you just end up serving Christ, it turns out.
Entire debate with me, telling me that Christianity, from her view, had no foundationalism whatsoever. And when we got to things which she considered to be materially true, even though they were metaphysical concepts, she had no answer. None. She said, they're true because I believe them. That's it. Completely antithetical to Christianity and Christian ethics. It was one of the most hilarious things.
Restart the stream in a half an hour. I can do something over again a half an hour into the future.
I've ever seen a person to admit the chick is a contradiction machine. She's always been a contradiction machine. She can never reconcile the dualism. She holds dualistic ethics in her head.
Yeah, the contradiction machine, I've started to just write off as duplicitous. Because, I mean, a contradiction can be accidental, but repeated contradictions is just duplicity.
Wants badly to be recognized as an academic and gain the respect of secular ethicists across the board. But at the same time, she wants to be accepted by Christians who follow Christian ethics. And it's like these things come in conflict too much. The idea that she doesn't believe, she believes.
How do you kick porn? Well, I haven't really. All right. I do clean the pipes. You know, that does help. I'm not a, you know, I've given up women. Okay. We still got to change the oil every now and then. All right. But I mean, I've known people that are like using it every day and multiple times a day. I'm talking like once or twice a week, right? Prevents anything from happening. I've taken away so many things from myself. Honestly, one of the biggest copes is that one day I'm not going to be able to like ejaculate anymore. And so I'm like, well, you know, one day that's going to go away. So I'm still going to appreciate that. That actually is a cope that I have. That doesn't seem to be getting in the way. I'll do it when I'm not even in the mood. It's honestly like robotic maintenance at this point, once or twice a week, honestly.
Believes that her own view just reduces to dogma. And since it reduces to dogma, it's unjustified, completely antithetical to the Christian view. Totally antithetical. I asked her if the laws of logic exist.
Kick porn is maybe the worst of the fetishes. Ah,
Exist. Yes, absolutely. Then she says, no, well, it's dependent on my mind. Well, no, it's not dependent. It's just a contradiction machine. And it's like, no. So, forgetting the debate for a second, regardless of how you think she did or didn't do there, which not good, but I've never seen her make the right choice once. Not saying that behind the scenes, maybe she does, I guess, but the only things that I've heard from behind the scenes that she does allegedly is try to hush up women who have legitimate gripes about having their tapes given to other women. She actually won? No, she didn't win. She reduced her own ethical system to nothing, which means that she has no grounds.
no, this is a fair point. Imagination is still an option. Nope, not anymore. You're talking to someone who has had porn available since I was 12. My dad showed me a Penthouse when I was 10, okay? So, I mean, once you have that level of imagery and that level of, what you've seen, I used to be able to from imagination, but that's long gone now. But some men still can do it.
In which to criticize mine. And then she admitted that. It was likely one of the simplest debates that I've ever done in my life. I'm absolutely fine with you reducing my ethical system to preference as long as you're reducing your own to preference too. If it's all just stance dependent.
Now, fellas, can we all agree that there is a huge difference between saying you are a degenerate and taking pride in your degeneracy, right? So, consumer 1073, you are admitting you're a degenerate, but are you taking pride in your degeneracy? Because, fellas, that's two completely different things.
Then you've got no grounds from which to make a criticism. Perhaps one of the most bizarre debate tactics I've come across is why it is that she wanted to get into the trilemma when she doesn't even understand what it is. She's talking about why you need to have grounding, which I brought.
Yeah, being a degenerate is an act of hedonism, right? And then when you have the urge, it's the cocaine part of your brain. It's the dopamine drip, the degen stuff, right? And so, well, this is what I was saying. This would be the point of fasting, right? It starts with food. And so shoot, before Lent, it was really difficult for me to not drink every day, right? 3 shots of 100 proof every day. That's how I make a video. That, a little bit of weed, boom, we're off to the races, right? And I'd try and stop drinking. And then if I drank one day, I would go back to drinking every day. Now, with Lent, the first time in a long time, I'm actually very comfortable not drinking for many days in a row. And it's actually a lot easier now. Because I'm familiar with this process that I'm describing, right? I'm connecting it to hunger. And if I can do that with hunger, that's how much I really want to do it. And then with alcohol, I'm like, okay, sure, I kind of want to do it, but I replace it with food, essentially. I just knock myself out with food at the end of the night. And then I wake up way better. And then, then you start thinking about how much you want to ruin your day the next day. So with degeneracy, it can be the same thing. How much do you want to ruin the rest of your day, right? It's long-term thinking. It's making you into a vinegar with your short-term thinking hedonism, okay? The more long-term thinking and self-control you can have, the whiter you are, no matter what color you are.
Up in the debate, not that nothing can be grounded. It's just she didn't even understand it. She was reached out to by the Phil Bros. They tried to correct her. She doesn't care. She knows everything. She knows fucking everything. So dumb. People are so fucking dumb. Why did she bring you a 12-pack of beer?
You don't know him? My boy Oil and Vin Nigger. There's Ving Rames, Vin Nigger. A lot of Vins out there, right? Vin Nigger. You haven't heard of him?
Sucking up. Kyla's always wanted me to have respect for her. Always. She'll never admit it. Ever. like ever. But she's always wanted it. She's always wanted me to have respect for her. She's always wanted Rachel to have respect for her, but I've never had any, ever. She's never done anything respectable. Ever. Not that I've seen. Never done a single.
It sucks because you can't just study. You have to go to liturgy. Yeah, the importance of liturgy is what I'm realizing is we don't have ceremonies now. We don't celebrate anything. Celebrate your birthday, celebrate a holiday. You just don't go to work. You just still stay home, play video games, do whatever. Right? The point, imagine celebrating something 52 times a year, and it's something you look forward to every week, and it's something you share with other people. That's the important part of it. It's the cohesion part of it. I mean, people will do psychedelics just to all be on the same wavelength, man. But you can get that with liturgy every week.
Thing respectable. Never made a good ethical decision in her entire online career, as far as I've seen. And so when people are like, "Why is it that you don't you think she should have defended you more?" That would have been doing the right thing. That would have been doing the correct thing. The correct thing would have been like, you don't get to come on here and call people that I personally know aren't this thing. That would have shown some actual moral integrity and some backbone. No way. You're asking for way too much from an immoral troglodyte.
This is kind of what I was explaining to Rem last night. When he was trying to, in the beginning, treat Destiny in good faith because he's a good boy. And that's why if anybody attacks him, I'll be like, hey, he's being a good boy on the internet, which is hard to do nowadays. Sex freak mean to be serious. The issue is if you're actually trying to pursue virtue, you simply cannot always be calculating everything. Some things ultimately have to be done out of principle, hoping it goes well. I can agree with that.
Has no ethical foundations, reduces them all to gibberish so that the secular leftists will like her better. She needs them to like her better. Someone has spent many years believing I was morally superior while actually being extremely selfish, materialistic,
and a moral troglodyte.
hedonistic. I could see right through Kyla's facade. Glad I found God in one SB. Yep. Yeah, she got, well, I refuted her entire argument in 5 seconds. I asked her if we were getting into it about Agrippa's trilemma, and I refuted in like 15 seconds. That no position has any foundation. And I said, does that position have any foundation? No. So is that position true?
This is where I became bored with the left as well. I always call it anything can be anything or talking about talking. Meta conversation, the meta conversation. Anything can be anything. All right, well, so if anything can be anything, why am I not allowed to have my values run society? And why are only you allowed to have your liberal democracy run society?
She said no. And I said, okay, well, then that's the end of that. And she said, well, why are you running? Like, what are you talking about? It was just refuted. Self-refuting, you idiot. Brian even brought up the definition. It doesn't matter. You can define things, right? You can do whatever. I don't even care about that. I wouldn't even give a if the chick just drubbed me in a debate or vice versa. It has nothing to do with anything ultimately. People are going to lose debates, you're going to win debates. It's irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. What is relevant is that any single time there has been a moral choice for this chick to make, she makes the wrong one.
It's every single time. It is every time.
Without fail.
For 5 years
Somebody tell
now.
me a good choice that this chick has ever made in her online career when there was any kind of moral decision to be
Well,
made.
then that's the frustrating thing, right? She calls herself a Christian, right? I think, what, does Wick also call himself a Christian? Or he was trying to use sola scriptura, sola scriptatatum against Andrew Wilson. Can I pull that up real quick? Some fellas know. Do all the fellas know about that? I made a video about it. There it is.
Hold on. Correct what you again. Let's go back to the poem. Get angry. It makes you feel angry. You interpret it as the poem is talking about angry shit. I read the poem and I'm fucking sad as hell. Am I able to come in and say your interpretation is wrong?
again,
Answer that. Hold on. No.
Exactly. Hold on. No, this is. Oh well, it depends. Sola.
Not it's going to pronounce it again.
This is actually how I learned what sola scriptura was, by the way. And when Wick called the guy Pontius Pilate, and he's trying to hold Christianity over Andrew Wilson's head. It really is an exercise in self-control to know as much as Andrew Wilson does and to engage with these people.
Using our meaning.
That's the exact opposite
of what that sola scriptura means, sir.
Object to the Christian. Here we go.
Hey, that's how I interpret that passage. Jesus thinks you're gay. That's how I interpret it. Now, Wick, is that subjective or objective?
It's just wrong. It's objectively wrong.
It's objectively, but that's my interpretation, Wick.
Nice try, Wilson. Looks like the farmer got the weasel. Only my questions matter because I am the alpha. Next time you debate, please read the rules. Mash Debato Brain over here thinks he has the competency and the intellectual vigor to invoke scripture. How old is his fucking audience, dude? Check his hard drive. What teenage mutant no-brained audience is he appealing to? This is the pinned post on his X account. Wick TV, bane of Christian nationalists. Warning, by following this account, you may be subject to the following.
I mean, Wick has got to be in his 40s, on his way to 50, right?
Objectively correct opinions, badass quotes, sexy pictures of the account owner. We understand some of our viewers may be little bitches and unable to handle this. Therefore, we recommend unfollowing. Can we check the man's computer? Shibbida-bip-de-doo. So if you've listened to this debate, you might think to yourself, I've become dumber from listening to this 5-hour debate. Well, what if I told you Wick became dumber during the debate? There's
dude, I don't know. I don't even that's why it really is fascinating to watch like Brian Shapiro against Jay Dyer and like Andrew Wilson against Wick. And where is this? Because like both Wick and Brian Shapiro will try to tell you they're like moderate Democrats, right? So I keep on looking for these like moderate, sane Democrats, and it seems like there are actually. Well, I mean, we're coming back to liberalism as a mental disorder, right? It used to be boomer, but show me the liberals show me someone on the left that doesn't think blocking traffic is protesting. It seems like in order to be on the left, you have to think blocking traffic and harassing ICE agents is considered protesting. It's your right to do so. It seems like all of them think that.
something called sola scriptura. And
did you see Shapiro stole your thumbnail already? Yes, I did. Yes, I absolutely did. Thank you for that.
When he was first saying it, when he first learned it from Googling it, he was able to say it correctly.
He doesn't know what words mean. He doesn't know what sola scriptura was.
Sola scriptura. Okay. Nailed it.
When he says that he can cite sola scriptura and
Starting to lose it. It's starting to lose it. Starting to go.
say that God told him to, he has demonstrated he doesn't know what the words he's using are meaning.
That's the exact opposite
of what that sola scriptura means, sir. Sola scriptura is when you use the Bible as the sole word of God, scripture alone, which I have done, sir. So when you cite sola scriptura, I could just say divine.
Okay, 3 times. So he knows how to say sola scriptura so far, right?
Revelation gave it to me. So once again, sola scriptura, I just want to...
Uh-oh. Sola subscriptura. I don't know. How do you get worse as the conversation goes on?
let everyone know what he means, right? He doesn't understand what that means. Sola scriptura is a Protestant Reformation.
Okay, sola scriptura. We're back to it. Okay, now we're going to stay here. We should be fine.
It's a Protestant Reformation. Dun, 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 dun.
Or is a Protestant Reformation.
It's a Protestant Reformation. Dun, 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 dun. Our next Protestant coming up. It's a Protestant, not Protestant. It's a Protestant.
He doesn't know any of these concepts. You can tell by how someone doesn't know how to pronounce these things correctly. It's not one mistake. Oh, it's several. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being too pedantic with the pronunciation of words? Okay, well, see if you can understand this. He's a forget that's a pussy. Okay, so let's see how Wick does when he's trying to dunk on Andrew Wilson and he can't even say what it is correctly, even though he started out saying it correctly. But let's see how well he schools Andrew Wilson by forgetting what it is because he just learned what it is.
The script, Sola Scriptorum fuck up you did, where you didn't know what it meant and you got it exactly the opposite of what it actually meant, and I had to correct you. I think the fact that you lied about what Sola Scriptorum is, and your counter to me is, oh, you mispronounced it once.
Sola
as if that was a big
with an M
W when you got it.
You just mispronounced it again.
Wrong at the beginning.
You just mispronounced it
just
again.
Funny. This is
it's
just
Sola Scriptura.
It's so
not
amusing. The projection at play.
Oh. Dude, like, is it even funny? Is it even funny at this point? You would that's a bit that you would see on like Mad TV. This is a bit where he says it correctly, then slowly stops saying it correctly, then gets called out because he's no longer saying it correctly, and then goes, it looks like you're projecting, aren't you? You don't even know what these words mean.
Oh, well, it depends. Sola Scriptorum would say you look to the direct
Scriptorum again?
Scripture, there's no other. My opponent here is hemmed, hawed, weaseled out, misused, Scriptura Solarum, right?
Scriptura Solarum! How much worse can it get?
And those things, thinking I wouldn't know what they meant, but I didn't know what they mean. He was just wrong. He tried to pass off a lie to you again and again.
Right? I made sure to make him say it dozens of times because it's by far the dumbest thing he said tonight, that his subjective interpretation is actually objective. He doesn't even know the distinction between this. Now, he copes and says that he knows what Sola Scriptura means, but here, when he tried to regurgitate to you what it even was, he said Solarum Scripturia. That's what he said. Something, Solarum something or another, huh, Wick? Is it Solarum something or another, Wick? Anyway, he has no idea what he's talking about. What he did was this. He, when I said Sola Scriptura, he Googled it real quick and then said, oh, I know all about it. Doesn't know anything about it. Has no idea what the solas are or what the Protestant interpretation is, how they're interlinked with interpretation, which is why I brought him up.
When I was making this video, I didn't even know really the difference between Protestant and Orthodox, really. I mean, when was this video? 6 months ago. Fellas, I'm still a baby. I'm still new.
Right? Which is why he said Solarum Scriptorius numbness.
Dude, one of the comments says, I died when Hobo Potter said Solarium Scriptatatum, then my chair started to float.
Anyways. Oh, man. I forgot about that. That was 6 months ago. And that killed me. His chair started to levitate.
Which was not self-serving, but actually could have hurt her. Oh, there's a choice, and I'm going to do the thing that's not completely self-serving and may even hurt me with my fans and bait.
Doth Protestant too much. Fellas are off the carbs today. My car brain couldn't think of that.
And things like that. Name one. It's never happened. Wasn't she mad at you when she left? She was very pissed. No, she did shake my hand, but she did it like this. She wouldn't look at me and put her hand behind her to shake my hand. Okay, whatever.
Now, it's coming up. Oh, boy. For those that are initiated, that's what it tastes like. All right, I got the demon out of me. In her defense, they debated for 8 hours, okay? I mean, you would respect it, but, I mean, that's baseline for a female to be able to cluck like a chicken for fucking 8 hours.
She was pissed off because apparently it's bad faith of me to not let her be bad faith and derail. Once she decided she's going to derail a conversation on Christian nationalism into foundationalism, and then refute her own foundations for it, that I wasn't going to just like let her get away with that. Apparently that's bad faith. Apparently I'm supposed to solve Agrippa's trilemma, this thing which is
You think this is coming out of me today? Really? I'm plugged up, dude. I can do whatever now. We have clogged the pipes. I just flushed an entire roll of paper towels down the toilet is what I did.
self-refuting, even though I solved
It
it
can only come up through a burp right now.
15 seconds when she asked me about it, but whatever. So that's the thing, right? Is like anytime I've ever seen there be a materialist choice or a non-materialist choice, which would have some integrity involved in it, inside of any dilemma that Kyla has ever done. Are you going to debate her again after this? I would have debated with her the next day.
Incredible. Incredible. The man's stamina and prowess, not only to create 3 kids of his own, but to take care of 2 other kids and raise them like they're his own. The man's stamina, the man's prowess, to then be able to handle this clucking yenta for 8 hours straight.
Pinky yentas?
And then he's willing to go, yeah, I'm ready to, let's go again. I will do this all day. I don't have that patience anymore, man. I used to have more patience, but at this point, I mean, that's not my place in the world anymore.
I don't give a. Her view to me is a nonsense view, which is easy to refute, and it's just followed by spurging. Great entertainment for me to go on and wreck Kyla. I've been doing it for years. Years I've been wrecking this chick. But it has no bearing at all on what we're discussing right now. Who cares about debate this or debate that? What I'm saying directly is that I've just never seen her make a good moral choice once in the entire history.
That really is the best part. Actually, I think I could pull that up. Can I? Could I bang that out that quickly? I think so. I always give myself 30 seconds. There's the debate. Found it in less than 5 seconds. And then what we're going to do is simply quickly go to the transcript. And we have, in fact, found the transcript. Now, what is the keyword? Unlikable. That's what it is. Supremely unlikable. 6 hours and 14. What was that? Was that 30 seconds? Did I do it?
It was always the supreme unlikability.
No, I mean,
Kyla
I don't know why you're like making these weird digs. So
Now, this is a really underrated part. I don't know if anyone really focused on this. He just talked about how unlikable she is for a straight half an hour.
part of the reason why
It's
my
not even
channel
a
did-
dig.
Of course it is.
No, it really isn't.
How is saying I'm
It's not even a dig. It's just an objective fact that you're unlikable, and you're so unlikable that no matter how much you're platformed, this is actually ties in great with the Isaiah content that I'm going to do tonight. The guy got a 60 million view video on X. He's had Warren Smith on his show, who has 600,000 subs. He's had the redheaded libertarian on his show. He's had James Lindsay on his show. He's had Joel Berry on his show. He's been on Christy Mayr's podcast, and he still can't get the 600 subscribers on YouTube. He's so unlikable that no matter how much help you have, you get nowhere.
likable, and that's why I'm not famous. Is not a dig.
No. It's why you never did as well in Twitch and YouTube as you could have done. It was
Sorry, what's
always
the
due to
difference between these
likability.
statements?
It's
I'm
not a
unlikable,
dig.
which is why I'm not more popular.
Yeah, well,
How is that not a dig?
that's not a dig. That's just a statement of fact.
There's more TTS.
Okay,
if I
a
say-
statement of fact cannot be a dig.
If you said, Andrew, the reason nobody bought your book is because you're a bad writer, I don't think that's a dig.
It might be depending on like the.
Yeah, I'm
reason why your
not
book was
even trying to
famous.
make a dig. I'm just saying that that's the reason. The super chatters one is like, that was she always had the potential to be.
I took 2 years off
Now,
of.
do you see how backhanded this is? She always had the potential to do well, but she's just so unbearable to talk to, so unlikable. You know, no offense, Kyla, stupid cunt. You know, she's just so unlikable, and it's unfortunate because she could have done This is 6 hours in that he's laying this down on her. It's a masterclass.
Content creation.
Yeah.
That's a really big contributor. In fact, when I started picking it back up in September, I've like grown pretty.
You had
pretty
every
consistently.
advantage. You were there with Destiny. You had a complete access to DGG. At first, they loved you. At first, everything was going really good with that. What ended up happening ultimately was the unlikability. You had Bridges. Bridges.
He knows that she cannot stand being called. She would rather be called ugly than unlikable, because you can't call her ugly because she's conventionally attractive. She's ugly to me, but conventionally, she's attractive, right? But unlikable. Ooh, what can you do about that, Kyla?
Tuned into by tons of DGG. They ultimately just ended up not liking you. That was the problem. It was that
was not
particular
the
audience
problem?
just did not like you.
That was not the problem.
It was the
ever.
problem.
Okay. If you want to make, there's nothing I could say to this.
Look, I've
All
been in
of
the
this,
space for years.
Just as it's
I
clear,
know.
is not true of my
You can
career.
you can ask me the lore on basically any content creator from Twitch poll to YouTube, and I could fucking tell you the entire transition that they made.
I can do not as well, but I could do generally, roughly, maybe the same.
The entire lore behind them, because I
Sure.
study my opposition like no other.
Did you know that I took basically 2 years off of
Yes.
content creation?
Well, it wasn't 2 years.
It was
no.
about 2 years. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. You still did content creation even in that 2 year span.
I didn't grow any of my own personal platform or promote it.
But you still did content creation within that span.
Almost none.
But
Almost none. Dude, he knows her content better than she does.
2 years. Yeah.
no, it wasn't. You still did content creation even in that 2 year span.
I didn't grow any of my own personal platform or promote it.
But you still did content creation within that span.
Almost none.
But you still did some.
Sorry. If you want to grow, so here's a pro tip. If you want to go in content creation, consistency is a really big part of it, right? And
I'm
just so it's
completely
clear.
inconsistent, by the way.
Well, here's one of the
Oh my
issues.
God, who the hell
I care.
cares?
I
Because you're more famous.
No. I'm just saying that I shirked all conventional wisdom. It's not about consistency. It never has been. It's never been about consistency. That's an old trope for content creators, but the ones who follow the consistency model are always the smallest ones.
Yeah, Asmongold is popular not because he's consistent, but because
It's not because he's consistent.
it's for sure consistency is a large part of it. It's not the only part of it.
It's not even a particularly large part. The largest part of
What's your? I'm curious.
Now, in defense of Andrew Wilson, does anybody really know when I'm about to go live? You know, I may put things up regularly, but it's not really. I mean, Artie and Fist is a godsend for me because it forces me to create content. Outside of Artie and Fist, who actually knows when a video or a stream is coming? I guess technically it's consistent, but it's very random.
The
What's your
largest part of
purpose
content-
in trying to pillory me like this?
I'm not even pillaring you.
Of
I'm
course
just pointing
you
it
are.
out.
You're trying to say you're less famous because you're unlikable.
It's not about less famous.
I didn't.
She's conventionally attractive, okay? And she would have been fine with her regular, dumb, ignorant, annoying small tits. She would have been fine in the world, but she had to add a comedic pair of fake cans. She's conventionally attractive, okay? Let's not... I mean, she's ugly. There's been plenty of coworkers I've had that I thought were hot in the first week, and then a month in, I can't even look at them because they're, you know, such annoying hogs.
Post it.
It's
That's
not
where I fucked
about
up.
less
Is that
famous.
what brought this on? Is that you feel?
Oh Lord, this was I
insecure,
brought this
upset?
up before he said anything about that.
Yeah, this is kind of how I feel. So if you're making content on a regular schedule, the trade-off will be passion. That's why, you know, I could stream. Like, I don't want to stream. I do these streams right now during Lent, and I turn off, you know, monetization and whatnot. Just to kind of think, you know, while I'm fasting and whatnot. And also it's for posterity. I mean, I'm going to be listening to this. I get to listen to these when it's not Lent anymore and when I'm not fasting anymore and when I'm probably falling back into habits. These are also for me to listen to. But yeah, that's why, like, I got to get mad first. And Isaiah has just dropped so much gold. Fellas, so much gold. And I've done a few behind the paywalls of Isaiah. Crap, I'm gonna have to incorporate that. I'm gonna have to keep it down in there. I'm gonna have to end the stream soon to do some prep for that stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in 2.5 hours. Oh my Lanta. He also goes live at 8 p.m. I can't even realize it. Oh boy. We're not doing a raid. I mean, we might do a partial. I don't know. We might do a partial raid. It would be easy to do. Or a brigade. I'm sorry. Ooh, it might be a hybrid. I do have a story to tell, and he does have some really funny content out. And it really is boring. I'm probably going to watch an Isaiah clip and then troll his horrible stream and then go back to some Isaiah content and then troll his stream. I'll probably do that. Actually, yeah, I need to go get ready for that. Let me give you guys a taste. What do we got? Let me give you a taste of Isaiah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I'm going to start you guys off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do lore, okay? Now this is from May 20th, 2025. This is when me and Isaiah broke up, okay? We were talking to each other. This is going to be this is in reference to my deleted account, so I'm going to be able to piece together this history. Probably going to give you a year in Isaiah. And here he's talking about, hey guys, lay off James Lindsay. All right? Hey guys, why don't you lay off James Lindsay? And you want to know what he did on March 18th? He's going to give an arrest on James Lindsay. And you want to know why he did it? Do you see? Do you see how he's tagging Timcast? He has big, fat, smelly, hairy, black balls of steel right now because he got 61 million views on a post. So now he's calling out Timcast. Fellas, I had to go prep like hell for that. See you in 2.5 hours, fellas. Get ready.